Okay, so welcome to another edition of Walk Time with Chris. I'm down Newhouse Crescent and I just walked past the brow, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about this area because this was where I grew up, and if you look right ahead there you can see it's the entrance to Woodside playing fields, and that's quite a hill over there, and that's where we used to have tobogganing and stuff in years gone by. Now, to my right here, this was the entrance to my old school. So this was called Auburn Wood, and this was an infant school. So I went here from the age of about, I don't know, 5 till 7 years of age, I guess. And now, as you can see, it's I don't know what that is, West Hub there. I might go and check that out. But you can see it's a housing estate now, and actually here the school was. I'd be kind of in the school now, and down there were the playing fields, which led up to the woods, and that's where we went out and played when we were kids at the school. So as you can see, no school anymore, but yeah, so it moved to Leavesden Green, which is where I went to school which was a junior school. So that was from the age of 7 till 11, but they've merged the two schools now, so Leavesden Green is actually both an infant school and a junior school. But yeah, this brings back memories, of course. So now living back with my mum. So, and if you carry on going down this road ahead, you end up at Francisco, which is where my sister went to school, and Bradley Walsh and a few others. So yeah, this was a trek every day. We used to walk here as a kid every day to school. I was with my mum and the dog. And up the top of this small hill, which is Newhouse Crescent, this road, you can see there's some buildings behind this tree, and that was called the Brow. And the Brow had a bakery, had a greengrocer's, it had a sort of hardware store, newsagent, butchers, all sorts of things. But as you can see, there ain't much of it left. They're knocking it down, and there's a bit of history going right there. I don't know whether you can see it, but there's names on these shops, and one of them's called Happy Garden, and my mum used to have Chinese from that place. Yeah, so I don't know what they're putting up in its place. Maybe it's new shops. Maybe someone would like to tell me about that. But yeah, a bit of history being taken down right as we speak. And just gonna, when we were kids and we were at the Auburn Wood School, in actual fact we used to walk down this hill. I'm going to show you the hill and the entrance to where the school was. So as a kid, all the parents, mums, used to stand at the top of this hill. It was quite funny. I can kind of remember it, and we used to come down this hill with my mates, and we'd come down here on a cart, on our bikes, and And what this is coming from the other side now, so I don't know whether the pathway is still there. I think it probably is, but about here you can see the pathway that goes along there. Here was a pathway, and this was the other entrance to the school, right here. And used to go in these gates here, and there was a lower, to the right there was a lower playground, and to the left there was a few steps up to the upper playground, and the school was behind it. So as you can see, it's completely gone now, but fascinating to come back here. His pathway's still there, can't believe that. And trip down memory lane, alright, this. How things change. We're going to see a bit more change. So I'm going to walk around, probably be about 15 minutes this video. So I'm going to walk around back to my mum to point out some things that have changed since I was living around here. And ahead there, over there, was a nursery school. I think it still is. A lot of new buildings over there as well. So we cross over here. There was a lollipop lady helping us cross the road here, and then we'll be walking up Louvain Way, which is this road here. And it's really interesting because look how small these roads are. Just about get two cars passing, and quite amazing to look back now. And this is the where it's all being demolished, so it is no more, as you can see. End of an era. So as a kid, we'd be spending a lot of our time cycling on these roads. Now, there are hardly any cars in comparison to what there is now. You know, there was, most people just had the one car, if they had a car. But nowadays, a lot of these front gardens have been converted into off-road parking, as you can see, and lots more cars parked on the pathways than there used to be. But when I was growing up, we had loads of kids going to the schools, and we were all living off these roads. So ahead to the left here, you've got Weall Green, and that's not really to play in that green, but it's quite a nice open space. You wouldn't get that now, would you? An open space like that. They'd be building on the other side of the road and everything else. The Poplars Close. A few mates live down there. And behind this green, there are alleyways to get to Stud Green, and I can't remember what the others are, but you can get onto Leavesden High Road through those alleyways, backing onto places like Hare Crescent. There's a kind of little network of alleyways and shortcuts, which I might go down another day, but not today. Today is the 4th of February, and it's about 4 degrees out, so it's quite chilly. You never just see a car down there, that's a funny thing. A couple of mates live down here, Blackthorn Close. council properties, but I believe now they're pretty much most of them are privately owned. I don't know which one it was, to be honest, but one of these two places on the right hand side, either this white one or the one next to it, and I think it's probably this white one, used to be the doctor's surgery, and it's now a residential home, or it was this one here, and perhaps my mother can shed some light on it. But one of these two buildings was a satellite doctor's surgery for Sheepcote Medical Centre. Now, Sheepcote Medical Centre, as the name implies, was Sheepcote Lane, and now that's moved to right near the Harry Potter studios. It's not in Sheepcote Lane anymore, but it's still called Sheepcote Medical Centre, even though I'm nowhere near it. Now, this house here, number 4, I believe that place was owned by a family called the Seekins. Now, the Seekins owned a corner shop. The corner, as the name suggests again. I'm going to take you round there to see that shop, because this was a shop that I first used decimal currency when it came out in, was it 1971 or 2 or 3, around there. Anyhow, we were all so excited to have this new currency. We went round there to try it out. And that post office there, this post box there has been, that was our local post box. And now I'm on Horseshoe Lane, and this has seen some changes as well. Because behind my mum and dad's close was a builder's, and they sold up their building business. I don't know where they went. Can't even remember the name of the builders now. However, this street here, which I'm going to go down now, was the result of losing the builders. So this builder's yard was behind here. Now, I don't think I've actually ever walked round here, but as you can see, they turned it into a small housing estate. Now, I'm walking now behind Kenford Close, and I'm not sure if I can see my mum's house here, but these are certainly houses behind here. This fence here are certainly houses from Kenford Close, which is where I'm living now. Now, yes, I think so if you look there, between these two big buildings behind it, you can see there's a house, and it's got a little alarm box on the top, just underneath the roof, and that's my mum's house. So this was a builder's yard. I wonder how many people who are living in here, in these flats and houses, know that this was a builder's yard quite a few years before. Anyhow, I know these things because this is where I grew up. So that's Rydal Court and Grasmere, and it's so odd to look out on Horseshoe Lane from this view. I've never done it before, and just to see, because it's not recognisable to me from this position because it was a builder's yard. Fascinating, really. And this house in front here, with the new windows and everything, that was my mum's best friend, who recently passed away. She used to go out walking with her dogs, and Rory and Jamie, I think they were called, and our dog Ruth. They used to go walking miles and miles, and as a kid I used to go with them. So, and this is a new bus stop they just put up, and opposite is a road called Orchard Avenue. A lot of my friends lived in Orchard Avenue, and again that's an old stomping ground. And this is my mum's road, Kenford Close. I've done a video on this as well. So obviously this is where I lived for many years, and I'm now back again. But here in this in this road here, Horseshoe Lane, that bus stop has always been there, and of course this was where I would walk. I'd catch a bus here to go to Watford Grammar School, but also I would walk this way to Leavesden Green, because we're now on the way to what was my junior school, Leavesden Green. These houses have all been here for ages, and this house on the edge here has always been an unusual house, a detached house, but yeah. And this was a rose garden. This here wasn't grass, it was full of rose bushes, this bit of land here, in years gone by. So, I'm now in Leavesden High Road, and you remember I was mentioning Seekins? Well, the Seekins family, well, this was their corner shop. Believe it or not, it's now been converted back to a house. But this was a corner shop. This is where, you know, they sell groceries, all sorts of things. And then it became a hairdresser's. And these houses here, when I was growing up, all these houses didn't exist. These ones here, they got built when I don't know, before I got to the age of 10. These houses were all built. Before that was a bit of pasture land. They're actually just going to give you a bit of history about this bit here. So this, see, behind here is a place called Catherine Place now, which is a shop area. Now this used to be a high brick wall here, and it used to be a orchard. And I can tell you that because we used to go scrumping there. They used to have trees there, apple trees, all sorts of things, and we used to go scrumping over the wall in that bit of land, which was an orchard. Now, of course, it's just well, it's a retail park now. But now the other, you know, this is a building site now, but down this little alleyway, which you won't, I'm not going to go down it, but, well, actually I might just step down it a little bit because it's quite interesting. So this is a builder's yard now, and behind this gate at the end is where they're creating a series of flats or houses, I'm not quite sure which. But guess what? It's behind there. You know, that's my mum's house behind there. And that row of trees here you can see just above the thing, that's actually the back of my mum's garden. And quite often we used to sneak in the back because my mum and dad would have been expecting us to come in the front road. We'd sneak in the back here and pretend we'd been around for a while. Dark times of my youth. So I'm not going to walk far down here, but this is now Leavesden High Road, and on my right used to be the old Canadian hospital from the war times, and that's all been it's all gone now, and in its place a housing estate. But this, we were reminiscing about this the other day. This road, Long Barn Close, years ago when I was a kid, this was a barn, and I think they kept pigs or something, like I was saying, in this road. It's been here for decades, this road now. But these trees here, we used to climb them as kids, these trees, and we spent many happy hours up in those trees, messing about around the corner here with our bikes and stuff. I think this house could well have been the farmhouse for the barn. as you can see, built in 1953. So that was here before that little road. Now, the other thing I want to just tell you about is this road here, and then I'm going to finish because it's been 20 minutes already. But this is Hare Crescent. Now, down this road, remember me telling you about Weall Green earlier? Well, in Weall Green, there's some alleyways, and those alleyways connect up Weall Green and Studs Green, or whatever it's called, and there's a few other little greens to the side of the Brow, which is that place that's been demolished now. Now, I'm not going to go up these alleyways, but I'm going to just find one, which I think is down here, if my memory serves me correctly, and we can have a quick look, because this joins everything up. And I can see the entrance, I think, up there. But again, here, there was lots of friends around here. We used to play around here quite a lot, mess around as kids. A very famous table tennis player lived down here called Barbara Andrews. She lived down here on the right, and she used to play for England. And so here we go. Here's the alleyway. They've smartened these up a bit. So let's have a look. I don't know, we used to mess about in these on our bikes all the time, popping up with different parts of the area. So, as you can see, this is quite fascinating actually. It's still here after all these years. If I haven't walked down here for decades. So there's a green on the right, as you can see. It's a little green, back way into that green. And look at this. Where am I here? Well, this is Weall Green. This is... I walked down here a little while back. You can see that pillar there, and I said, actually it's nice now they build on both sides of the road. So, and they would do now, but this is that green that I walked, just come at it from a different way. And if I go down that green to the end, I'd end up almost back at the Brow. Turned into a bit of a marathon walk this, but it is interesting, and I'm thinking that there's going to be lots and lots of people who will remember some of these paths, and that you can carry straight on here and end up on Horseshoe Way. I'm going back now to get back on Horseshoe Lane, and not Horseshoe Lane, on Leavesden High Road, and then I'm gonna finish this. But what an interesting little walk for me to go down here and see all of this. So back on Horseshoe Lane in a second, and that's been a fascinating little trip for me. It's pretty chilly now, so I'm gonna charge this up and upload it and share it a bit later. Thank you for watching. Back on Horseshoe Lane now.